Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of Introduction to Early Childhood. I really appreciated all of your efforts last week with our Padlet. Again, make sure you always keep your name on things like that as you post so I can give you credit. And it's helpful to take screenshots of your work, and that's what you can post over in the submission link. And that way, as I'm looking at the Padlet, I'm giving you credit, but in case I miss something, I have sort of that visual representation. I have the artifacts to make sure that I give you all the credit that is due. So week 2 of this week, we're going to be starting a 2-week project. We are going to be using a Jamboard, and I'll get into that in a few minutes. But this week, you should make sure that you look at the announcements, and there'll be more information about that as well. We're going to be looking at John Locke, Vygotsky, Erickson, Rousseau, Froebel, as the theorists for this week. So we're going to begin this week after you do your read and your watch and look at all the materials. Our discussion this week is going to be for you to share some kind of visual representation. It can be an infographic. It can be a GIF. It could be any kind of visual display. You can create it yourself. You can find something online. You can make a meme, whatever speaks to you. And have it be a representation of what you learned from the theorists and their learning theories, what they look like, sound like, feel like in an early childhood setting. I know that for some of you, this is probably a stretch in the way that you're thinking, but that's why we came up with this assignment, because we want you to really think about sort of the big overall concept and think about what it looks like to you and what visual you can use to represent that. So that is our assignment this week, and then post that visual and add a couple of questions about the topic that your classmates can answer. And as always, respond to at least 3 of your classmates for our discussion. Make sure that you get your post, your graphic up by Thursday, and then do your responses after that. If some people are able to get it up earlier, that's great. It gives us more of an opportunity to have that richer discussion. So I had mentioned we're about to embark in a 2-week learning project. We're going to be creating a compendium of early learning theorists. So if you look at the announcements for this week, you will see that you are assigned 2 theorists for week 2, which is this week, and 2 theorists for week 3, which is next week. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to our Jamboard. If you haven't used a Jamboard before, it's like a whiteboard or a series of whiteboards. And you'll see on the Jamboard that there is a whiteboard for each theorist. And whatever theorist you're assigned, you're going to provide an overview and some examples of how their theory is practiced and your personal thoughts about the theory or theorists. And what you do on a Jamboard is you make sort of virtual sticky notes. So just keep yourself organized with those sticky notes. Make sure you're really careful about putting your name on each and every sticky note that you post, so we know that it's yours. You're allowed to pick different colors, so you can color code your work. You can make sure all of your sticky notes are one color, so we know they're yours. You can physically move the sticky notes or virtually move the sticky notes around to make sure they're organized. But make sure that your name is on it so you receive credit. And just like I had mentioned with the Padlet, take a screenshot of your work and upload that for the assignment this week. That way, I will be sure not to miss anything that you've posted and make sure that you get all of your credit. So you will see that in that announcement for week 2. It's called Action Item Link to Jamboard for week 2 and 3 assignment. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. And also make sure that you use citations and references. So you should do all of your work. You're probably going to have some in-text citations to your research. And then the last sticky note you post can be your references. So make sure that you have that. And you also have access to a graphic organizer that you can use as you're going through all of the course materials to keep your thinking organized if that helps you. So as always, send me a note if you need to get anything clarified. And I look forward to the beginning of our 2-week assignment. I think that's going to be fun. And also of your creative inspiration for your visual about the theorists this week. Have a great week, and I look forward to learning with all of you this week. Thanks. Bye-bye.